My name's Charles Ritchie and I'm one of the founders of the charity Gambling with Lives, which was set up by families bereaved by gambling suicides. The gambling industry likes to portray gambling as a fun activity that everyone engages in, and it's using football to push that image. But in fact, most people don't gamble. Fewer than 1 in 20 gamble more than once a week, and actually a quarter of those are either addicted or at risk of addiction. In the UK, there's something like 1/3 gambling addicts and a further 2 million who are at risk. 55,000 11 to 16-year-olds are classified as problem gamblers, and staggeringly, up to 10% of all suicides in the UK are related to gambling. That's 650 deaths a year. So we're talking about a dangerous and potentially lethal activity, and young people who watch football are at most risk of actually developing that addiction. Since the 2005 Gambling Act, gambling is everywhere in British football. Something like 2/3 of the top teams have gambling sponsors on their shirts. Logos and slogans are plastered around grounds. Clubs have their betting partners. Leagues are sponsored by betting companies. The list goes on. And research shows that level of exposure to gambling imagery and advertising not only helps to normalise gambling as an activity, but it also increases people's propensity to bet. And most worryingly, that effect is strongest amongst children. So we've been working with James Grimes from the Big Step project to get football to review its relationship with gambling.
Hi, I'm James Grimes from the Big Step project. As a recovering gambling addict, I know that the relationship between football and gambling has caused harm to many, including myself. The prevalence of gambling advertisement within football normalises and glamorises an activity which we know is not always normal, is certainly not glamorous, and can sometimes tragically lead to suicide. We need to start thinking about how football can break this relationship, and that's why my Big Step project with Gambling with Lives tries to encourage football clubs to remove this sponsorship and advertising, but also to do things in their community to support and educate around gambling. As a recovering addict, I know how important this is and how much football has a responsibility to protect young fans and prevent them going through the same thing that I did.
We're also working with gambling treatment professionals, including Dr. Gaskell from the NHS's Northern Gambling Treatment Service, which has clinics in Leeds, Salford and Sunderland.
Young lads who are, obsessed with football and their idols are seeing the constant just normalisation of gambling with no idea whatsoever of the harms.
Thank you very much for watching and listening. If you'd like to learn a bit more about the work of Gambling with Lives and the Big Step, please visit one of the websites, gamblingwithlives.org or the-bigstep.com. Thank you very much.